Welcome viewers, this is Winch here. Wanted to upload another Planetside 2 video today, just a short video. Many of you may have not seen the video I uploaded yesterday, the video prior to this one where I detailed a little more extensively my Planetside 2 beta impressions. You can watch that video only on PC. That was due to me putting some music on there, which got some matched up third-party content as usual, the YouTube copyright stuff. So a lot of times when that happens, it only restricts it to PC-only viewing. So many of you on your mobile devices and tablets are not even aware it's in your sub box if you watch my channel. So what I'm talking about today with Planetside 2, and if you missed my video yesterday, is just kind of giving my impressions of the game, what you expect to see. This is a currently enclosed beta, and this is PlayStation 4 gameplay. I have selected a new faction. There's 3 factions in this game. I was playing New Conglomerate prior to this. Now I've gone with Vanu. And I'll have to say I like them much more than New Conglomerate. I love these weapons that they got. Here you can see me going through some attachments I'm going to purchase using currency. You can see the upper right corner of the screen. You get this with experience in the game. This, by the way, of course, is a free-to-play game. But in order to unlock attachments, you have to obviously get experience in this class. I'm playing the Heavy Assault class. I picked up this cool 2x zoom, like holographic kind of sight, which looks really cool in this gun. And I really like Vanu. I went out to shoot this weapon, and I really liked the sound of the gun. You'll hear it here in the gameplay, hopefully, if I didn't turn it down too much. But I jumped in this match, and right away I said, this is something different. I like this, because this is pretty much strictly infantry combat, and more of a closer quarters type engagement, so it felt like domination to me. Here you can see there's 4 capture points on this outpost, A, B, C, and D. And my faction is purple, so if we hold that in purple, that means we hold that objective. And as you can see right there, there's a blue. Anything in blue is New Conglomerate. They're the ones attacking us right now. So our objective is to hold these 4 points, resecure them back, and recapture this facility. And I don't know how many players are exactly here. There's never a screen you can just pull up like you can in traditional games. This is not a traditional first-person shooter, where you can just pull up a screen and say, yeah, who's MVP? How many players we got? That's not how this game works. I mean, literally, there can be thousands of people on this server at a given time, and hundreds of people battling over any place at any given time. Now, right now, with this being closed beta, I don't think those numbers are quite that high. However, I have seen some battles where you've got several dozen players ahead of you and all fighting over the same objective. Now, here I'd estimate maybe it's probably a dozen each side, if that, something like that. But nonetheless, that's what I like about this game so far, is that even though as a player count dips in certain areas, it seems like the action can still be fast-paced or frequent enough to keep you entertained. Right here, now these purple little shields you see, we control this outpost right now, so we can spawn in here and we can be safe in these facilities. And this is where you can change your armaments and take cover, and it's kind of handy. You look through these windows and kind of get a feel for if the enemy's attacking. So I see there's a lot of resistance here, so I'm going to switch to a max class now real quickly. And normally you have to have currency and stuff to purchase these things, or at least experience. It's not like you can just do this all the time, but right now I think those restrictions have been lifted since this is in beta. It's allowing people to check out the classes. So I hop in this thing, come across another enemy max there as well, so I'm pulling back here, reloading. I'm not too familiar with the weapons on this thing. Each max is different for each faction. Prior to this, I played New Conglomerate. I think they have like a shotgun on the left and like a rocket launcher on the right, and this thing I'm not sure really what it is. I think it's kind of a laser beam combination or thereof. And the shields don't seem to be as quite effective on this either. I just don't see a shield bar for some reason. But taking him out there, again, this thing's a monster. If it can take out, you can configure these things with weapons. These maxes, it can be configured for an anti-tank role, an anti-air role, or an anti-infantry role. And I think right off the box, this generic here, I think it's an anti-infantry role right off the bat. So, like anything, numbers are always important. You can't just expect to just keep taking out people. Eventually, you will get overwhelmed. Now, right there at the end, this is kind of the kill screen, the kill cam. You're going to see here a better kill streak of the game kind of grades your progress, which is kind of interesting to me. Oh, and I see this a lot. Right now, one of the things I'm struggling with right there, I don't know if you noticed, I think I just killed my teammate. Friendly fire is always on in this game, and that's kind of, I don't know, that scares me. Because games before I played with friendly fire being on, you got a lot of trolls out there, and there's people that just make mistakes and don't know. And to me, it's kind of hard visually to differentiate between the Vanu and New Conglomerate because purple and blue to me look a lot of similar, particularly when like shields are up and stuff. They just all look the same, and when you're heat of the moment, you got multiple guys in front of you. It's kind of hard to distinguish friendly players from enemy players, and I know that's something in the forums that the developers have asked us to provide feedback on. Is whether or not we're having difficulty with that. I certainly am. So, you know, of course, this is still in beta, it's closed beta. So at some point in time, I'm sure they're gonna, you know, try to tweak that stuff visually. Now, I mentioned briefly in my last video, this game has been out on PC for a couple years, and you know, it's an ambitious project to bring this to next-gen console, but there was some concern about the graphic output. This is 1080p, and they equate this visually to running it on PC in ultra setting. However, there's a big caveat to that. This is limited at 30 frames a second, and that kind of puts me off quite a bit because I'm tired of all these games releasing on next gen. The list goes on and on. Destiny, latest example as well. All these games being capped at 30 frames a second. Drive Club, another one. It's like, look guys, this is next gen. I don't care what game you're releasing, but it should be at minimum 60 frames a second. 30 frames a second was last gen. So, you know, I know this is a big game and stuff like that, but I expected a little bit more performance-wise with this game visually. Now, in terms of the gameplay, I'm used to it by this point. However, I do remember playing on PC, then the frame rate giving you much more. I noticed some frame rate dips below, I think, 30 frames a second. Maybe that's just me, but it just seems like a lot of times when I'm throwing a grenade or there's a lot of action on the screen that it dips down below that. Check this gun out, man. Isn't that cool the way that thing reloads, that little cylinder it sticks in the side? And this sounds good, too. I just like immediately I love this gun. It's like, oh yeah, this is me. You know, that's one of the things I like about game, and that's kind of where I'm getting at with Planetside here, is that once I pick up a gun like the first time, and it just feels natural to me, the controls feel good, it sounds good, I connect to my targets, my aim's on, I'm like, okay, this is working. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Look at this jetpack guy going up right there for Rambo kill. Now that kind of leads to my last clip here. These guys are coming from somewhere, and this is something you need to cue into with this game. There's friendly fire there again. It's frustrating. Here I'm switching to a rocket launcher with this class to try to take out that Max before I get killed by the guy that was just there a friendly second ago. Anyway, it's a tough game, but look at those points. But this is one of the things I want you to cue in real quickly to. There's things called Sunders in this game. They're essentially a big minivan. It's like a respawn point, if you're familiar with Battlefield, like the Recon class respawn point. It allows the enemy to spawn and keep attacking objectives, and they're very high value targets that not many people pay attention to. It's like all these enemies are coming from somewhere. They don't get to spawn inside our base. So you can see a lot of them were jetpacking up over that wall. And so I kind of had a feeling, even though I can't see in this mini-map, there's a Sunder out there and these guys are spawning from it. So I said, you know, let's wise up a little bit here. Let's stop being lemmings and go and see if we can stem this. So I go to a vehicle deploy checkpoint, and this is what it looks like. So you can go in here and you can select just a light tank. They call it a lightning tank. That's a generic tank across all factions. Every faction has one of these tanks. They're pretty worthless, especially right out the box. Here you can see the turret's speed. This is a glitch they know about. It's way too sensitive right now. They're going to address this as well. I don't even know what this thing's really used for. I guess anti-infantry maybe. Although infantry typically pwns you. But there it is right there. That's what it looks like. So I'm just going to sit back here and just take this thing out until it's gone. And that will allow us to stop this onslaught of enemies coming. So cue into this. These vehicles are what you spawn into. There's a lot of options that you saw me in the first beginning part of the screen. You can, when you're selecting your spawn point, you can also go straight into instant action in this game if you're unfamiliar where to go once you get access to beta. And you're not exactly sure where I go in this vast world. Just hit instant action and you'll get a drop pod drops you literally right into some action. I've drop podded right behind guys before and they go up and knife them. It's kind of funny. But hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you think about Planetside 2. Again, if you didn't get the opportunity to watch my video yesterday about my overall impressions, I encourage you to check it out, but again, you'll need to watch it on an actual computer, an actual PC or Macintosh. It will not work on mobile devices. I don't know what it is about YouTube they're a finicky thing. I knew uploading music, I had a little montage in the start. I said I probably knew that was going to happen, but you know, I just can't help it sometimes. You guys know I do it on my channel. But I hope you guys like the video. I will have more Planetside content come. I don't know when the public beta will launch, but if you haven't got a beta key yet, feel free to sign up. They're handing them out like candy right now. From my understanding, there's a lot of people getting them. Just go online to Planetside 4 PS4. Just Google that, and there's an email address for you to sign in there. But you can see me succeeded. We succeed in taking this, defending this platform, and we move on to fight another battle. Like Squash has, I'll see you on the battlefield.